Hey everyone, this is Paddy, and I am going to start a new series about coding, and we're going to use Kotlin to solve Advent of Code. Advent of Code, if you don't know it, go to adventofcode.com and you can solve 25 puzzles each year. So the first year was 2015, current year is 2024. And you can solve it in any programming language that you want. I'm going to do it in Kotlin because that's what I like most at the moment. And we're going to start in the first year, 2015. The setup here, this is IntelliJ, and I made a new project, Advent of Code. To do this, you can go to New Project. I can just say on title just to show dev. I use the language Kotlin, Gradle. I have my JDK here, and I use the Gradle Kotlin DSL. And if I were to create this, I have this. How I like to set up my project is that I make an extra method called run, and then I call that method from the main method, and with this extra function measure timed value. And what this does is, if I run this now, it will print whatever, well, it will run my run code, and it will give me a time value to see how long it took, just in case I need to figure out how long my code runs. That's basically my setup, if you want to follow along. So here I have the same. The other thing I do is I store my input in input.txt here in resources. So if I put hello here, then I can read it, file, source, main, resources, input.txt, read lines. So then I have a list of string here, and I can print it or do whatever. So let's get going. We're in year 2015, and we're gonna start with day 1. Not quite Lisp. Santa was hoping for a white Christmas, but his weather machine's snow function is powered by stars, and he's fresh out. To save Christmas, he needs to collect 50 stars by December 25th. Collect stars by helping Santa solve puzzles. 2 puzzles will be made available on each day in the Advent calendar. The second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first, so you always have 2 parts in each puzzle. Each puzzle grants 1 star. So one thing I forgot to mention is during December, the month of December, they're usually, if they run this Advent of Code, they release the new puzzle each day of the Advent from days 1 to 25. So if you want to be live in the current year, you have to wait until December, and then you can get going. But you can always go back and just solve the puzzles from the last years, which is super fun. So that's what we're gonna do now. Here's an easy puzzle to warm you up. Santa's trying to deliver presents in a large apartment building, but he can't find the right floor. The directions he got are a little confusing. He starts on the ground floor, floor 0, and then follows the instructions 1 character at a time. An opening parentheses, like this, means he should go up 1 floor, and a closing parentheses means he should go down 1 floor. The apartment building is very tall and the basement is very deep. He will never find the top or bottom floors. So, for example, if we go up 2 floors and then go down, then that results in being in floor 0 again. And if we go up and down and then up and down, we're also in floor 0. So what I like to do is read the question first. To what floor do the instructions take Santa? So we have some examples here where we know the answer, and then we have our puzzle input where we have to figure out the actual answer. So what I like to do is I take one of these examples, copy it into my input, and I know that this should be floor 3, and then I try to solve it. So how I would solve this now is, first let's see if I can read my input. So I have one line, so I just take the first line, print it, see if it's correct, and then run the code. Okay, that's the input that I want to see. So then I can go raw.for each character in this string. I want to check what the character is. So when the character is this one, I want to do something, and what I want to do is increase a, let's call it result counter, but I want to decrease it if the bracket closes, because that means Santa's going downstairs, and I'm going to increase it if the bracket opens, because Santa's going upstairs, and then else I can say, hey, I didn't expect a different character in my string, and then at the end I can print line the result, and we should get 3, which is what we expected. So we can try another one, this one, run it, and we get -1, which is what we expect for this string. So then we get our proper puzzle input, run the code, we get 280, so Santa should be on floor 280. Then we put it here, and that's the right answer. And then for this day we get part 2, unlocked, which is probably some twist on the original question. Now, given the same instructions, find the position of the first character that causes him to enter the basement. So floor -1, the first character in the instructions has position 1, the second character has position 2, and so on. For example, 1 closing bracket causes him to enter the basement at character position 1. And then this one causes him at 5. So let's see, let's take this difficult one. And let's see what we do. What position, yeah, does he enter the basement? Let's see. I think we can just let Santa walk and count the position for each character. We increase it. Then we walk. And then if result equals -1, that's the first time he enters the basement. So I want to print position. And well, one thing I could do is collect all the, let's leave this. One thing I can do is collect all the basements in a mutable list. Basement positions, basements dot add position, and then the result will be the first time we enter the basement. So I get basements first. Run this. Position 5 is what we expect. So we go back to our real input. So then 1797 should be the answer. And we're done. Return to your advent calendar, and then we see we got 2 stars. Perfect. Awesome. That's it. See you next time.